Okay, so this is the last video for today, and what we're going to talk about is how to make a magic box. But first, what is a magic box? Well, instead of having condoms just randomly floating in a drawer and having people see them and having an awkward moment when you go to grab one, I figure why not put them in a little box all their own, just so that you're saving some space in your drawer. They've got a cute little box of their own, and it's easy to make. So, to be frugal, this is a reuse project where you take things that have already been used once and you reuse them so that they're getting a second life. Now, what you're going to need is take either a used piece of cardstock, or in this case, the front of a notebook. You're also going to need a pair of scissors, a measuring tape, and I'm going to use a stapler and some cute decorative tape just for decorative measure, and also the item that's going in it, a condom. So that's what you're going to need. Okay, so step one. Now, see how right here it has this little dotted line going down the side? Well, that's actually very convenient for us. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut down the dotted line so that our paper right here gets a haircut, as my old teacher, Mr. Fawn, would say. So take and cut along your dotted line. That is your first step. There. So it looks much neater. And now, what we're going to do is we're going to measure it tall ways, so going this way. So we need our measuring tape, and for me, that is about 10.5 inches. So I'm going to turn it over, and also you're going to need something to write with so that you can make marks. So I'm going to find 5 1/4 inch, and I'm going to make a mark right at 5 1/4 inch. Okay, so for me that is that mark right above my finger. Okay, now that I've made that mark, I'm going to go and across, I'm going to continue my line so that I'll know where to cut. Okay. We are making our line. Oops. Now, this box will have a lid, which is why we are starting off by cutting it in half. Now then, take and cut it on the line that you just made going across. That's your next step. Now then, because one of these is going to have to be a lid, and the other is going to actually have to be the container part of the box, one piece of these two is going to need to be a little bit smaller so that the lid will fit over top. If that makes sense. So let's check to see, and well, this piece right here is actually just a hair bit bigger. So since this piece is smaller, it's already short enough, but it's too wide. So, since it was about so much taller, the other pieces, then we're going to take and we're going to cut it off about so much off of this side right here. So then, right about there is where you're going to cut. Now then, take and measure, and as you can see, one piece is definitely smaller. Okay, now then, here comes the box making part. Now, if you made the box for the sock drawer organization, I think you know how to do this, but just in case, we'll go over it really quickly so that we're not taking oodles of time. But anyways, remember, you make the 2 tall lines, which I'll show you here in just a second when I get done with the second one. So then, you have 2 tall lines, and now you're going to turn it this way, and you're going to make 2 lines going across your tall lines, right where I just showed you. Okay, so then, now you have 1, 2, 3, and 4 lines. Now, remember, this is where we make our flaps. So cut here, 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 and right here. So then, 1, 2, oops, there goes the measuring tape, 3, and 4. Excuse me for just a second while I pick up my measuring tape. Okay, there we go. Okay, now, remember, you gotta fold your flaps downward. Okay, turn it upside down, fold downward, fold downward. Okay, now your next step, turn it sideways, and then fold on this line. Now, you've got your one side. Now, fold on this line right here. Now then, turn it so that it's tall ways, and then fold on this line. Now, go ahead and fold it on this last line right here, so that now we've started forming our box. Okay, now here's where the stapler comes in. Take and staple your flaps in, and remember, you have to put your flap down close to the bottom so that you're making a nice strong box, like so. And remember to put your flaps in front so that they are hidden from the outside of the box. Now, there is the bottom of your box. Now, let's do the top. Now, the way I'm going to do the top part is I have this piece sitting right like here, and I have this sitting right there in the center, or thereabouts. And then I'm going to trace around so that the inside box is bigger. So you're using the box, you're using the bottom to outline the top so that it comes out bigger. If then that kind of makes sense. So just trace around the 4 sides of your box. Okay, and there we have it. We have traced around it, okay? So, now, what you want to do is you want to take and continue your lines outward so that you know where to cut. So that now it looks like that. Now, go ahead and cut your flaps out again. Now, turn it upside down, cut the other 2. Okay, now fold fold your flaps downward, turn it upside down, do the other two, and now fold on this line. Now turn it the other way, fold on this line, and now turn it tall ways and fold on this line. Now turn it upside down and fold on this line. And now tuck your flaps in front so that they're right there. And now staple them down. That one was a little bit hard to staple. Oh well, that's okay. And now then, okay. Now, you'll know if you did this right if you can put the top over the bottom, which you should be able to. Ta-da! See, you have made a box. Okay. Now then, just because I want to be nice and neat and tidy, I am going to trim off where it has that overhang right there, because I think that looks neater. Okay. Okay, now then, the very last step in your magic box, and this is completely optional, is after you have put the lid on, which mine is not wanting to cooperate very well. Oh goodness. Please go in. Ah, there we go. Sometimes it doesn't like to cooperate. Okay, now that I have my box together, yeah, I know it looks a little funny, but hey, it's a handmade box, which is awesome. Now, take your decorative tape and just kind of decorate with it. So I'm just going to put a couple of pieces of it on the top so that I know that that's the top. Okay, let's put a piece there, and then let's put another piece right there. And now we have decorated, so we know which one is the top. Now then, the very last step, take and insert your condom so that your condom is in the box, so that there's no more awkwardness of opening a drawer and, oh, there's a condom. It happens though. And then put your box back together, and then open up your drawer, insert your box, and voila, awkwardness avoided. Go you. So, I hope this helps you to avoid some awkwardness. Have a great holiday season, and I shall see you next time when it is time to do the next video.